Hey guys, so I am gone today, as you obviously know, and I get really nervous to leave you on a lab date with a sub. Not that you don't have a great one, but you do. So we are here from my basement today just to explain to you what you're doing because I tried to do this at school and my mic had a major issue, so I'm doing it all over again at home. But you are with Mr. Dobbs today, and you are actually going to go and leave the room and do a lab called the Quantum Leap Lab. And we have been learning about quantums and how electrons move and jump because they are affected by photons. And so today is going to kind of simulate how that works within an atom and how energy changes where electrons can be. And you guys already know a lot about this, so this is just going to kind of solidify that idea and that thought before you take your quiz this week. So what you need before you leave, these are called carbonless pieces of paper. And you can kind of see, okay, they have two pages. It's like if you have ever gotten a ticket, which hopefully none of you have. But anyways, if you drop these on the top, you're going to be able to see the spots underneath. Or if you write on the top, you'll be able to see what you have underneath. You're going to need a waist level sheet, and you can kind of see this is the waist level. You're also going to need an eye level sheet. The eye level sheet will be the exact same, except it'll be pink on the back. And then you're going to need a marble. And you guys are going to go down to the cafeteria because the goal is that you have to drop this marble onto the target sheet, and you need a hard surface for that. So that's where you're going to go. So go down the stairs by Mrs. Pompey's room. Make sure you stay to the back of the cafeteria. That way you're not bothering any of the ladies that are working in the cafeteria. Okay, but when you get down there, you are going to set the target sheet at your feet, and then your partner is going to sit across from you on the other side of the target sheet. There are two levels. So you're going to start with eye level, and you are going to turn to page number 4. Okay, so this page shows you, and I'll move it up closer. There's a tally box for you to keep track of how many times you've dropped the marble, and there's also another space that we're going to talk about filling in later. So if you are at eye level, or if you're at waist level is where your belly button is. So you're going to drop there. And if you're doing the eye level target sheet, you're going to drop obviously from eye level. So what you're going to do is stand over the target sheet, and first you're going to drop from waist level. Make sure you're using the waist level target sheet, and you're going to drop it 100 times. Now, again, the goal is to drop. Okay, we are not trying to like slam dunk the marble onto the target sheet. You're going to drop it 100 times from your waist, and you want to make sure that your partner catches it. You don't want to let it drop more than one time. Okay, so drop it, let it bounce once, and have your partner catch it, hand it back to you. You're going to do that 100 times, and that's what this tally box is for, is to keep track of when you've reached 100 times. Once you're done, you're going to move that target sheet. You're going to get your eye level target sheet. You and your partner are going to switch places. Your partner needs to drop this time, drop the marble. So you're going to go from eye level this time. What I want you to understand is that obviously this looks very familiar to Bohr's model. So that's why we're using this. The marble, which I have in my hand, represents an electron, and then when you're moving your arm from waist level to eye level, that is representing the energy level. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do there. When you go to eye level again, you're dropping 100 times. Let the marble hit one time. Don't let it hit any more than that. Otherwise it'll make your data inaccurate. We don't want that either. So when you're done, just to kind of show you what this is going to do, every time a marble hits, or anything really that puts pressure on this, it is going to leave marks on the target sheet. So just to move it a little bit closer to you so that you can see it, everywhere I pushed with the marble has left a tiny little spot, and you can kind of see that there. So when you get done, you're going to remove the top part of the sheet, and then you are going to circle every single dot that you made on every single spot. And that sounds like it's going to take forever. Use a pencil. It doesn't take that long. So you're going to circle all 100 of those. And then what you're going to do is tally up, well, how many did I have that hit in each of the areas on the target sheet? So just to give you an idea, and we've mentioned this before, we know that energy level 1 is obviously ground state, and then the very outer, which in this case is 6, those are excited states. We also know that the closer an electron is to the nucleus, the less energy it has. The further away it gets, the more energy it has. So this is kind of what we're simulating in this lab. So you're going to circle those, and then you're going to keep track. So let's say that in the first spot, okay, I had 4 dots, so I'm going to put 4 there. But let's say that maybe it just so happens that you have a marble that hits right between 4 and 5. If that happens, you're always going to count that towards the lower number. So you're going to move that to a 4. okay? Or if like you have one that hits between 2 and 3, you're gonna move that to a 2. So that's what you do in that situation. So the goal is when you get done and you have all your dots added up, this should equal very, very close to 100. Now, if it doesn't, if it's a little off, if it's a little higher or lower, don't change it. It's fine. You're not going to get counted off for that. But again, you want to try to be very close to 100. And I know sometimes it's hard to keep track of the marble hits. So anyways, you're going to do the same thing for eye level. And when you have your data added up, you're going to go to the second to last page, page number 5. And you are going to graph. And why do we need to do this? Because to be honest, we're not super great at it. And it's something that you're going to be able to have to do and have to know how to understand on your SAT or ACT. And we definitely want to prepare you for that. So what you're going to be creating today, and just to kind of show you on this dry erase board, my marker works. My nephews draw with these. So you never know when it's going to work and when it's not. Okay, you're going to have the X and the Y axis. On the X-axis, you're going to write areas or area numbers. And then on this side, this is number of hits. Okay. You need to make sure you spread your data out. So the area numbers are obviously 0 through 6. They need to range all the way across. Okay, and then we're creating a bar graph. I can't help you with your y-axis yet because I don't know what your data was that you collected here, okay? So in the end, let's say that area 0 had 4 hits, okay, so we draw a bar graph. Area 1 had 10 hits, so we draw a bar graph. And so at the end, what you should be able to do is see eye level versus waist level. How did our bars change? How did our hits change based on where we were? And keep in mind, lower you drop it is the lower energy. We should technically see the drops hit closer to the nucleus. The higher you raise the marble, the more energy. We should see the hits get further and further away. So in areas 3, 4, 5, 6. So hopefully that's the trend that you see. When you are finished, on the very back page, there are 8 questions, and you can kind of see that today in your lab, and you're gonna work on answering those, but again, you can't do that until you have your data. So this lab should be an easy one. It should be one that doesn't take you a ton of time. Your goal is to get it done before you leave class today, but if you don't, you can take it home and turn it in on Tuesday. So thanks for your patience with me. Please be good for your sub. If you have any trouble, let me know. I will have my phone on me. And I'm sorry for my appearance tonight. This is real life Mrs. Puckett here in my Bears t-shirt. So have a good day. Have a good start to your Monday, and I will see you on Tuesday.